Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Marlborough Township. I want to first welcome Governor Murphy and Attorney General Platkin to Marlborough. This isn't the governor's first time here. We did a press conference here a couple years back. You've attended Marlborough Days, which we appreciate, and he's eaten at Marlborough restaurants, which he says is the best in the state of New Jersey. Is that correct? Yeah, see that? We got it. Under oath. So I want to acknowledge all the dignitaries that are here today. I want to acknowledge our council presidents here and Councilman Millman. I'd like to say Deputy Mayor Lau is here. I want to recognize Chief Pizzullo as well. Obviously, the AG Platkin is here. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. So one of the stats I often tout as mayor is Marlborough's ranking as one of the safest communities, not only in the state of New Jersey, but in the country. We work hard to maintain that status and know that it's critical to our reputation. Keeping people safe is important to keep us as a premier location where people want to work, live, and raise their families. Marlborough, like many suburban towns in New Jersey, has recently seen an uptick in vehicle thefts. Between 2018 and 2021, between 27 and 30 cars were stolen each year. The beginning of this year, 30 cars have already been stolen up until April. And the thefts have been becoming more brazen. They're happening in daylight while people are unloading groceries and taking them in. And this is something that is completely unacceptable in Marlborough and in suburban towns in New Jersey. And we know two things are true when these thefts are going on. The first, 99% are happening because people are leaving their key fobs in the car. And I get trusting your community and being safe. So I'm going to ask everybody, please take your key fobs in when you're not in the car. Please lock it. It'll help. The second thing I'll tell you is our fine police force can't be everywhere at every time. There's 200 miles of road in Marlborough. We're 32 and a half square miles long, which means we have to engage the community. So back in March, we started a program with the chief, see something, say something, we'll do something. And we started this program back in 2018 when there was a risk of school shootings and violence. We want to know what's going on. So I implore every resident of Marlborough, if you see a problem, call it in, we'll go check it out. And this has actually worked because the number of successful thefts are down since we implemented in March, and the number of arrests are up. So I want to first give our police department, led by Chief Pizzullo, a round of applause because they do an amazing job for us, and thank you for being here. I congratulate the department and the officers who have made 8 arrests so far in battling this increase in crime for vehicle theft. But our police need more tools to achieve their goals. And that's where the governor comes in and the attorney general. So I've been communicating with Governor Murphy and Attorney General Platkin, who's the lead enforcement officer in the state of New Jersey, and I am very pleased they listened, they heard, and they're taking action now. And that's huge. So I am very honored and grateful that both the governor and the AG are here today to address this increase in vehicle crime specific to suburban towns like Marlborough. I look forward to their sharing these new initiatives to combat vehicle theft in our great state. So with that being said, I'm pleased to welcome the 56th Governor of New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy.
Thank you, John, and it's good to be back. And again, you got it about right. I'm not sure you have upset the other 564 townships in their cuisine, but I'll come to Marlborough anytime. I said to John, I get awful allergies. I had avoided them. I said to my wife yesterday, you know what, I can't believe I haven't had any allergies. Don't speak too fast. I coached a Little League game last night. My head is exploding, so if you can't understand me, forgive me. Thank you, John, to you and council for welcoming us, as always, to Marlborough this morning. You were as good as it gets. And I remember one of the first times we met, you said, you know what, if you're going to be governor, you pulled out your phone and you said, you got to be able to communicate and make sure we have an open line. And today's event is a direct result of the fact that you and I are on top with each other all the time. Honored to be back, and thank you for your leadership. And again, to council as well. And any day, by the way, I can start in my home county is a good one, and it's even better when we're together to move our communities forward. We've got some stars with us today, as was in addition to the mayor, as was all and members of council, as was mentioned. Acting Attorney General Matt Platkin is with us. We'll hear from Matt in a few moments. To his left, New Jersey State Police Lieutenant Colonel, another great leader, Fritz. Fritz, great to see you, as always. We got sitting right behind me, New Jersey State PBA, another dear friend, Vice President Mark Kovar and his colleagues. As was mentioned, we have the outstanding Marlborough Police Chief, Pete Pizzullo, and your colleagues, Chief. Honored to be with each and every one of you guys this morning. So I am honored this morning, as John alluded to announce a $10 million investment in our local police and in safer communities. This $10 million is made possible by the federal funding we have received through the American Rescue Plan, and we're going to put it to use to ensure our suburban police departments have the tools they need to keep our communities safe from crime. Specifically, we are opening a grant process for county and local police departments to obtain automatic license plate readers, which can be deployed in their communities to crack down on car thefts and other crimes. This technology has been in use across many of New Jersey's urban communities for several years. Automatic license plate readers have helped police in our cities quickly identify and track not only stolen vehicles, but also vehicles used in the commission of numerous other crimes, including gun-related violent crimes. But as we know, crime does not stop at the municipal boundaries of our cities. In my hometown of Middletown, right here in Marlborough, and in other communities, including in this county, places like Rumson and Little Silver, to name just a few that have been in the news recently, local police have been working against a rising tide, as John alluded to, of auto-related crimes, both break-ins and thefts. These incidents, understandably, have rattled families, and we need to invest in the abilities of local police to more effectively combat these crimes. This investment in our police can mean less officer hours spent chasing leads and more of them spent recovering stolen vehicles and getting car thieves off of our streets. In any crime, and you guys have forgotten more about this than I'll know, time is of the essence. But that's definitely true when a stolen vehicle can be clear out of a community and halfway across the state in a matter of moments. Automatic license plate reader technology, which, by the way, goes by its acronym ALPR, has been successfully deployed in suburban communities in other parts of the nation, helping those towns combat auto thefts and other crimes. So let's allow our communities like Marlborough, and this is as good as it gets, right here in New Jersey, to have these same capabilities. When we invest in tools to help police do their jobs more effectively and efficiently, we invest in the safety of the families who call these communities home. We invest in securing their place in that community. And we invest in securing the high quality of life that is the hallmark of so many of New Jersey's hometowns. I must also thank in absentia our federal representatives, beginning with Senators Bob Menendez and Cory Booker, and this district's very own Congressman and Chairman Frank Pallone, and our House delegation more broadly, for fighting for New Jersey's share of these federal pandemic recovery funds. And of course, I thank President Joe Biden and his team for their commitment to ensuring that local law enforcement receives the resources they need to protect the communities in which they serve. And again, I want to add on to John's plea, don't leave your key fobs in the darn car. I mean, overwhelmingly, I think it's fair, Chief, that the percentage of these cars that are stolen are cars that had the fobs sitting in them, right? So all of us, please lock the darn car, take the key fob out of the car. But again, I am incredibly honored to make this $10 million available to our police departments. You can't put a price tag on the feeling of security, but we know these dollars are a worthwhile investment. And thank you all very much, particularly our brave members of law enforcement. I mentioned this to him a few minutes ago. As an avid New York Yankees fan, the last place Matt Platkin wanted to be this morning was in the sports page of the Boston Globe, but he was. Please help me welcome the great acting Attorney General of the great state of New Jersey, Matt Platkin.
Thank you, Governor. Mayor, thank you for having us and for your partnership. And we have that open line of communication, and I appreciate that. Lieutenant Colonel Frage, thank you for being here, and great working with you as always. Chief, and to the women and men in your department, thank you for everything you guys do, and again, for being here today. It's really an honor to stand beside the Governor, the Mayor, Lieutenant Colonel, and announce a $10 million investment in automated license plate reader technology to combat the rise in auto theft in New Jersey. Since day one, the Governor's administration has demonstrated a firm commitment to investing and improving how we do public safety in this state. And that often means finding a more sophisticated way to do our jobs. This is particularly true right now when, as the Governor mentioned, we are seeing a rise in auto theft. In 2021, we had an all-time high of 14,320 stolen vehicles reported in the state of New Jersey. And according to the data that we have from the state police, these stolen vehicles are not always, in fact, often are not isolated incidents. They're increasingly linked to other serious crimes, in particular shootings. And so far this year, we've seen an increase in 37% auto thefts compared to last year at this time, and a 53% when you compare us to 2020 at this time. So this is a serious threat to our state's safety, but it's also why we're here today, because we are responding to those numbers. It's why the Governor is putting this investment on the table, and it's why immediately after the Governor nominated me in February, we made this a top priority for our office, because we recognize that it's affecting every community across our state, urban and suburban, and we want to make sure that public safety is our top priority. So our plan is straightforward. We're going to be using American Rescue Plan funds to expand existing high-speed automated camera systems that capture and store images of license plates in a database that can be accessed by law enforcement. This technology will be installed in fixed locations along major highways that run, again, through our urban and our suburban areas, as well as mounted on mobile units to ensure optimal coverage. We're going to continue to honor the strong privacy protections that have been in place in this state for well over a decade. Again, as the Governor mentioned, ALPR technology in New Jersey is not new. We're going to continue to follow the same rules, but we're simply expanding the use of it to help address the rise in auto theft. And with this expansion, the state police and our local law enforcement will be able to better gather intelligence that can be used to spot stolen vehicles, to locate possible suspects, to identify patterns in auto theft and violent crime, and to deter criminal activity. And I want to particularly shout out the work that's done by the state police and through the ROC. All of the ALPR technology that we have in the state and all the new ALPR technology that we're going to put out there will be integrated in our state system. The data will flow into the ROC so that we can ensure that we're tracking trends and addressing in real time. When a car is stolen in Marlboro, we know it doesn't always stay in Marlboro. And so that integration and that connectivity that we have through our centralized ROC and the state police is really essential. So their work is extraordinary. I am confident that this investment is going to have a significant impact. And it's, as I said, in addition to our ongoing efforts to combating the rise of auto theft. Last month, we at the Department of Law and Public Safety announced that we're expanding our auto theft task force with additional resources from the Division of Criminal Justice and from the state police. And we're also put $125,000 of Department of Justice grant funding to work to bolster those efforts and ensure that the task force can be effective. That task force involves local partners across the state. We're getting more members. Vice President Kofar is here. I forgot to recognize him, and for the PBA and other members across the state who are participating in that task force. It is extraordinarily important that we have, again, that tight integration of state and local partners so that we can address this problem. We're also going to we're continuing to increase our public awareness efforts. The Governor and the Mayor were right to mention key fobs. Our state police data tells us this isn't just anecdotal. The overwhelming majority of stolen vehicles in this state have key fobs locked inside, or have key fobs inside. It turns out if you have a new vehicle, your car is really hard to steal unless you leave the key fob in it. Then it's remarkably easy to steal. So if there's anything public can do to stop this, it's take your key fobs at home. That minor inconvenience will save you a major inconvenience when your car's still there in the morning, I promise you. Lastly, I want to touch briefly on my office's vehicular pursuit policy. I want, especially for our folks in law enforcement, to know I have listened to the concerns of fellow leaders in the law enforcement community, and as a result of those listening sessions, today we're making modifications to that policy. Specifically, we will permit pursuits based on the commission of several additional crimes, notably car theft and receiving a stolen vehicle, at least through the end of this year, when we will evaluate the impact of that policy change. These changes will give law enforcement the tools that they need to meet the moment and to protect our communities, while also being mindful of the inherent risks that come to officer safety and to the public when officers do engage in police pursuits. But together, thanks to the governor's initiative and the changes we're making, we're taking a significant step forward in our efforts to combat and reduce the rise in auto theft in New Jersey, as well as to enhance the public safety of our communities. I thank the governor for his consistent support for this investment. Thank the mayor, lieutenant colonel, and state police, and for everyone here in law enforcement, as well as for everyone out there who's doing their part to help drive this problem down and keep our community safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. And that last piece is, we should underscore that change in directive from your office in terms of pursuit. Last but not least, he's been mentioned by several of us. He's an outstanding leader in the state police. He's mission critical to the reason why we're here today. Please help me welcome Lieutenant Colonel Fritz.
Good morning. Governor Murphy, Attorney General Plackton, Marble Mayor John Hornick, and especially Marble Police Chief Peter Pizzillo, my counterpart. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Fritz Frage, the Investigations Branch Commander in New Jersey State Police. I am here on behalf of Patrick Callahan. This technology is part of our precision police model used to keep our communities safe. We can't thank the governor and his staff enough for assisting us with enhancing this technology. There are several gaps in the state where we currently do not have readers, and this will assist law enforcement in a variety of ways. ALPR is an automated technology and objective tool that can assist public safety officials effectively and efficient to protect life and preserve property. ALPR has played a significant role in investigating all crimes and hazards in New Jersey. Last year, this month, the governor's office supported the opening of the Real-Time Crime Center in Trenton, New Jersey, which provides investigative support to all the Central Jersey municipalities. The enhancement of ALPR will significantly assist its capabilities to prevent crime. At that time, it was approximately $5 million, and it's open, and this month is the anniversary of the Real-Time Crime Center in Trenton, New Jersey. We commonly use this technology in kidnapping, Amber Alert, and Silver Alerts. It assists public safety officials in quickly reacting to and locating missing children, seniors, or victims of kidnappings. According to the Child Crime Prevention and Safety Center, approximately 840,000 children are reported missing in the U.S. every year. This tool is instrumental in solving crimes and supporting these investigations. Motor vehicle theft is a significant issue that costs the U.S. billions in losses each year. Installing an ALPR network in local communities provides a deterrent for criminals, as is a proven way for police officers to recover stolen vehicles and return them to their owner. New Jersey is experiencing a statewide motor vehicle theft rate increase of approximately 31%. This technology is a conduit to solving these crimes. As Attorney General Plackton just mentioned, these vehicles sometimes end up in the inner cities, which cause some violent crimes and homicides, murders, and things of that nature. This problem can also be solved. The overwhelming majority of all motor vehicle theft in this state happens because the key fobs are left in his vehicle. Governor Murphy, Attorney General Plackton mentioned it several times. I'm mentioning it. Please bring the keys inside the house. Don't leave them in the cars. AG Plackton, Attorney General Plackton also stated that he's enhancing the Motor Vehicle Theft Task Force. We've begun that process already. We've got another squad set up. It's a task force of local and county police officers to go out there and stop the motor vehicle theft. Thank you.
Well, this is major news. I'll speak to the police department first. You now have more tools to take care of the situation, and I have full faith that you will and continue to work hard for us. So thank you for what you do for us every day. I want to thank the governor for being here with this important announcement. Thank you for coming to Marlboro for this. Attorney General Platkin, thank you very much. Thank you for the correspondence and listening on the directive. Really important, and you heard, and thank you for being here. And Colonel, I appreciate your words and you being here as well. This concludes today's press conference. Thank you. Sure. Sure. Where do we want to do it? Yeah, bring him over here. That's fine. We'll do a picture together. We'll do it with the chief.